After 4 days of deadly violence between the Palestinians and the Israelis, U.S. President Joe Biden is sticking with his calls for both sides to hold their fire.
The question is how we get to a point where they get to a point where there is a significant reduction in the attacks, particularly the rocket attacks that are indiscriminately fired into population centers.
The Biden administration had not made the Israeli-Palestinian matter a top foreign policy concern, mainly because of the COVID-19 pandemic and the resulting economic slowdown. Analysts say that was a mistake.
The team is not fully staffed up on the Middle East. It's adopted this posture that I think affected badly the Obama administration as well, which is this reactive, tactical crisis management posture.
The White House is being criticized for blocking an Emergency Security Council meeting on the issue, but it has sent a State Department official to Tel Aviv to urge Israeli and Palestinian officials to declare a ceasefire, a point underscored Thursday by the U.S. Secretary of State Tony Blinken.
But we are deeply concerned with the loss of life among civilians, especially among children. Palestinians have a right to live in security and to live in peace, just as Israelis do. And so we are working hard to encourage all sides to stand down.
Meanwhile, in Congress, strong bipartisan support for Israel, but from Democrats, a show of support too for Palestinians caught in the fighting.
There's a respect for meeting the needs of the Palestinians, but there is a Palestinian power struggle, and this is about Hamas. So I wouldn't just label it Palestinian, I would say Hamas. And Hamas is threatening the security of people in Israel. Israel has a right to defend itself.
From Republicans, accusations the U.S. has indirectly endangered Israelis by trying to pursue a new nuclear deal with Hamas's primary supporter, Iran.
It's difficult to believe an American president would consider removing terrorism or missile-related sanctions at the very moment Iranian rockets are raining down on Israel.
A sign of how challenging it will be for the Biden administration to manage this sensitive part of its foreign policy. Rosalind Jordan, Al Jazeera, Washington.